your mind while we laugh and play. Here comes EJ Boo, Shaheem, and our Debbie. Yes, we're on our way to brighten up your day. Here we go. Here we go, here we go. From the shore, here we go, here we go. From the shore to People Show. Here we go. Here we go, here we go, here we go. From the shore, here we go, here we go. Be more. Asbury Park, New York. You know we got y'all. Here we go, here we go, here we go, y'all. Here we go, here we go, here we go, y'all. Here we go.
What's up, everybody? And welcome back. I'm hearing an echo on Debbie. Welcome back to another episode of From the Shore to Be More. I am one of your wonderful hosts, the one, the only, Shaheem. Let's go.
And I, too, am a host. I'm Deborah Singletary, also known as Aunt Debbie.
Yes, she is. And Boom will be joining us later, everybody. And we are the treacherous three of the tri-state area and the DMV. You heard? It is good to have you all back with us for this very, very, very special episode. I surprised on Debbie, everybody, today. I just jumped right into the show. So if she looked disheveled a little bit, it's because I shot. But we're glad to have you all this. Right on, Debbie?
I'm happy to be here.
And I'm glad you are here. Again, for this very special episode, ladies and gentlemen. Joining us today will be author Damian Lewis, everyone, who was just on the Tamarind Hall show, everyone, to talk about his book. And with this episode is titled, Call Me First. The name of the book is Call Me First, A Man's Blueprint for True Leadership at Home. And he'll be joining us today, ladies and gentlemen, to talk all about it. So I'm looking forward to that conversation. Right on, Debbie?
Yeah, I've read the book. I'm intrigued by it. And I am looking forward to hearing Damian live.
Yeah, I've had conversations with Damian about the book and about life in general, and they were some really good conversations. So I can't wait to have that conversation with him again and with all of you. So we encourage you all to be part of the conversation, especially if you saw him on the Tamarind Hall show. And make sure you comment on the show, especially live, because he's going to want to take your questions. And we're looking forward to that today, everybody. So, yes, it's going to be a great episode. Before we jump into that, though, I just want to reach back and shout out last week's episode on domestic abuse, everyone, and thank our host filling in for Aunt Debbie, Beverly Brown, everybody. I definitely want to thank her.
Yeah, I heard the show. I listened to it on YouTube a couple of days later, and I thought it was sound and made a great contribution to the dialogue on domestic abuse.
Yeah, it was a really great conversation. We got a lot of great comments on that show, so I encourage you all to go back and check it out, like what Debbie did on our YouTube channel for sure. And again, I know some of you have had a hard time finding the show on YouTube, so I've heard. And so if you type From the Shore to Be More in, hello to all my Facebook fans, our Facebook fans, in the search, you will find the show. It gets a little tricky, but you will find the show. And we apologize for that. We're working on it. Yeah, and again, shout out to all our Facebook fans who are keeping us live out there, too. We don't want to forget you guys. Also, we want to remind you that you can also listen to the show, everybody. So you can go back and listen to it wherever you listen to your favorite podcast, everybody. Right on, Debbie?
I think you should check us out whenever, wherever, however you can.
For sure. We're going to speed things up, everybody, because I know we wouldn't save time for Damian in our conversation, but I just want to also shout out that Damian is from Jersey. Everybody. Yeah, you know I'm going to big up Jersey. What's up, Jersey? For two reasons. Not just because I love Jersey, but we also had another author on the show a couple weeks ago from Jersey. So I wanted to shout her out to all my Jersey folk. Cheyenne Thomas, and her book was Unplug Luggage, Unpack Luggage. Make sure you go check that out as well, everybody. Okay, now before we jump into everything, I also want to thank our super engineer who's joining me at my side here today, my son Junior. Thank him for all his help. And while I'm shouting him out, I also want to mention that he has his own thing going on. So if you want to talk anime or gaming especially, you can find him at Otaku Everything, everyone. And that is on YouTube. Otaku Everything at Anime Cannibal. So make sure that you go check out my son. All right, there you go.
I got to go get my coffee. Don't take me off the screen.
All right. Go ahead on, Debbie. Take care of that while we take care of this. Also, we want to remind everybody that the show, like life, is not free, everyone. So we can sure use your help in keeping the lights on. And you can do that by sending your donations. Thank you, son. Send donations to Cash App, $ from the shore to be more, or PayPal me / from the shore to be more, everybody. And please, please, please help us keep the lights on for sure. Before I run into the birthdays, because I do want to shout out a few people, and we're going to keep this thing rolling real quick. I just want to mention the Honorable Jesse Jackson's funeral was this week, everybody. I don't know if everyone caught it. I'm sure you might have caught clips on your social media. I just mentioned it because there were all of the surviving presidents there, except for, of course, yours truly, Donald Trump. But Joe Biden was there, President Obama was there, and the Clintons was there, as well as Kamala Harris. And it was a very dignified service, and there's a very dignified picture of all of them together. And that's what really, what civility looks like. And I just wanted to point that out before we jump into things. Did you catch it on Debbie?
I saw glimpses, and it's interesting how powerful an absence can be. And so let's remember to focus on what's before us. Frankly, and he is not yours truly, by the way. He's not my yours truly.
Thanks for correcting me.
But, you know, how wonderful his absence was.
I agree. I think we all could agree. Right?
We don't need him. Do you, Blue? Because you've been doing you. So keep at it.
And we as folk are going to continue doing what we do. Ain't that right on Debbie?
Hey, ashe, ashe, amen.
That being said, we are going to keep the ball rolling. Yes, we're going to have a good time, a really quick good time, everybody. Happy birthday to everybody celebrating your birthdays today, in the past week, or the upcoming week. We definitely want to celebrate your birthdays with you, right, guys? Right, Junior, of course. And so we're going to keep the ball rolling on. Debbie, do you have anybody you want to shout out?
Well, I'd like to shout out Dejanay, who is Seku's daughter, and my niece, my great niece. She is another one of those tender and bold Pisces. Happy birthday, Dejanay. And I also shout out Athena Souls, who was my neighbor when I lived in Brooklyn. She now lives in Atlanta, Georgia, and I'm here in Harlem, but we're in touch. You're in my heart, and you're one of mine too, Athena. Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday. Thank you, Debbie. Real quick, I just want to shout out a couple people, and then we're going to keep this thing moving. I want to say happy birthday to my cousin David. His birthday's coming up on March 12th, everybody. So happy birthday to him real quick. And also, I want to shout out wish a happy birthday to my former group member, Darren Henry, who passed away a few years ago, by the way. So happy heavenly birthday to him. And I believe his birthday was March the 13th coming up. So you are missed. Happy heavenly birthday to him. And that's my personal birthdays. Real quick, just some celebs that you might all well know. Happy birthday to Wanda Sykes, everyone. March 7th, actually, was her birthday. So her birthday just passed. Happy birthday, Wanda. For the ladies, of course, Boris, and one of my wife's favorite. Happy birthday, Boris Kojo. Today is actually his birthday, March 8th. Happy birthday to him. One last one, everyone, and one of my definite favorites, and that'd be this guy here.
In the party, everybody put up their hands. I get a half a meal for my
Happy birthday to super producer Timberland. I swear, I don't think he gets the credit that he really deserves, but happy birthday to him. March 10th, his birthday, so it's coming up. So one of my favorites. Happy birthday to him, everybody. So we sure enjoy that all you guys are enjoying your birthdays, and we're going to keep this thing moving. So if you're having a celebration of any kind, there is ways that you can add our small businesses, mine on Debbie's and Boom's, to your celebration, and this is how you can do that. Hit it, Junior. Reach DJ Boom and Shush Entertainment at boomsquaddjs.com, 678-334-1745 for your next big event or karaoke night. And to attend the next Silent Fitness event, be sure to reach out to Shush Entertainment, a subsidiary of D3 Lux Entertainment. Before stepping out for the night, look for the latest in women's fashion at terryscloset.com. Step into Terry's Closet and step out in style. terryscloset.com, your closet's new best friend. And reach the Boris Singletary at visioncarriers@aol.com for astrology consultations, art workshops, wedding ceremonies, and rituals. Be sure to reach out to Vision Carriers at AOL.com, 212-234-1329. Right, everybody. Make sure you support us and all small businesses. And go buy the book by Damian, everybody. Call Me First, everybody. I'm sure he would really appreciate that. I'm going to speed through this movie segment real fast because we have Damian waiting in the background. I'm sure he can't wait to get to this conversation too. So we're going to keep this ball rolling.
I guess right now we should start the show.
Must-see TV and movies. One of my favorite things to do on the show because I want to know what you're watching out there. I got one for you. Debbie, you got any?
I've got one. I am watching Paul McCartney, Man on the Run. For you young folk out there, Paul McCartney was one of the members of the Beatles, a group from London who took America by storm, made the girlies crazy. I was a girl, but I wasn't one of the crazy ones. But the movie is called Paul McCartney, Man on the Run, and it's really interesting how they put it together. And I recommend it. It's easy, entertaining, educative, watching.
All right. Well, thanks for that, Debbie. We really appreciate that. Like I said, I got one real fast, and then we're going to get to this thing. I don't know if you guys are paying attention, but the return of Scrubs, everybody. One of my favorite shows from back in the day is back, and I've been able to catch some of the episodes, and of course, like before, it is hilarious. So I would highly recommend, if you're not watching us, that you go check out episodes of Scrubs, everybody, for sure. And that is our picks. Come back, let us know what you thought. Now, that being said, if you are one of our wonderful viewers and have a topic idea you think our audience would love, or if you are a business looking to support our program here, this is how you can get in contact with us. Hit it, Junior. To contact us, You can reach us on our YouTube channel, where you can comment, join the show, and please don't forget to subscribe. You can also watch, like, and comment, join the show on our social media pages. Our Facebook or Instagram is at From the Shore to Be More. Our Twitter or X is at 2_Be More. And our email is fromtheshore@gmail.com. You can also call the show at 732-455-2503. If no one answers, please leave a message and someone from the show will get back to you. And please, tell a friend. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, indeed. Please tell a friend we are here for you. All right. It is time for us to get to that part of the show that you all been waiting for. It's time for us to jump into this topic. Based on the book by author Damian Lewis, everyone. Call Me First, A Man's Blueprint for True Leadership at Home. Here is author Damian Lewis, everyone. Yay! Thank you, sir, for joining us. I'm hearing an echo, everybody, so please let's check our levels so everybody can hear us clearly. Thank you, sir, for joining us. I know.
We don't hear you.
Oh, you might be muted. Let's see here. You're not on our end. I can't hear you. Okay. Yeah.
So while Damian's going to put his voice in, I just am sensitive to what they call dead air in radio.
Okay, yeah.
Like it's
Yeah, I do know.
So maybe he's here.
Can you hear me now?
Loud and clear, brother.
I guess it was the headphones. I had to do something different with the headphones.
It's all right. We go through those things sometimes on live streaming. So there it is. But thank you, sir, for joining us once again. I appreciate it. I know that your schedule is picking up now.
A little bit.
Yeah. I first saw your story, and I'm just going to give some of my background, then we'll jump into our conversation. Okay, I first saw your story on News 12, New Jersey, weeks ago, everyone. And it was a great story on News 12, and it caught my attention. But more importantly, what caught my attention was the book itself. Damien, seriously. A Man's Blueprint for True Leadership at Home. What exactly does that mean?
Well, it's experiences that I've went through as a man myself, and I'm able to look back and say, maybe I can lay out a couple of my experiences and help a couple other men that may be going through something, or maybe in the storm right now. And I actually made it through, and I said, maybe I could reach back and throw you a lifeline, throw you some bail, give you a way out because of what I did. If you follow this path right here, you may be able to get out of whatever situation you're in. So it's the blueprint. When I call it the blueprint, us as men, we make a lot of mistakes, and one of the reasons why we make a lot of mistakes is
you just made one.
Because we make a lot of mistakes because in a way we never saw the right way to do certain things because we didn't have a lot of examples. So I figured, listen, I went through the storm. I see a way out now. Let me write a blueprint. What I feel is a blueprint for true leadership at home, which is communication, accountability, being intentional. And this is what my book is about.
Awesome. And obviously you struck a nerve. Because you made it all the way to the Tamron Hall show, sir. Congratulations, first of all, on that. In fact, do you mind if I play a clip?
Sure, go ahead.
I got to make it short because the bugs will come after me if I don't. But here's Damian. Pay attention.
What made you hand Kyle, the UPS driver, a copy?
Kyle is a working man.
Yeah.
He is the epitome of.
But you don't know anything about him at that time.
But he's a UPS driver.
Yeah.
Just picking boxes up, bringing boxes in.
Yeah.
He's working.
Yeah.
And he asked about it, and I said, listen, this is the perfect guy that can read something like this and probably get something valuable from
I
this
still
book.
love the fact that sales are slow. You're panicking. You're handing out free books.
Yes. But look what happened.
Look what
I'm
happened.
here with Tamron.
Right, there you go.
So-
Yeah, with Terry. Right, and this is excuse me, this is your first book, correct?
Yes.
What inspired you to write the book as the first time author?
It was looking at my sons. I have two sons, 7 years old and 12 years old, and I knew what it was like growing up without a present father, like to help me out in the house or give me direction, give me guidance. And I thought, what if something happened to me right now? Who would be there to take care of my sons? What type of example would they be taking care of my sons? So I decided, you know what? I'm going to put my thoughts, the way I believe certain things are supposed to go, things that I've learned. I'm gonna put it in a book, and I put it in a book. It was made for my sons, to be honest with you. But while I was making, I said, you know what? There are other men that probably could benefit from this too, and I expanded a little bit more. But my whole thing was I wanted to leave something that my sons could refer to and live in the light of the positivity that I grew into.
Thank you for joining us, Monica, James, one of the folk in my tribe. Damian, I read the book and I identify as a woman. And as you say in the book, I think it's in your introduction, I think you do suggest or offer that women can find something of value in it.
Absolutely.
And I found a lot of value in it because I identify as much as a leader as I do a woman. And later I'm hoping we can talk about the role part, a man, a woman. But I found it essential for anyone who takes a leadership role in their family and in their life. So I thank you for writing it. And I will say this, I'm a picky reader. Picky. I read a lot and I don't like fluff. And I loved your book.
Wow.
And I thought it was well written. So thank you for being vulnerable enough to share that.
Thank you. I truly appreciate you. I want to thank you for reading the book, for actually going through reading the book, and I appreciate you expressing the fact that you did get something of value from it. And that was my entire thing. I want you to read it, even if you read the intro. Get something of value from the book. This is once I hear that you have gotten something of value from the book, I feel a bit more validated with the words that I put inside the book. So yeah, this is where I'm at with that.
I know in our conversations, we also talked about your growth as a man and as a person, because your journey was kind of similar to mine. In the way that, of course, we as young men, we do a lot of things. We think we know it all, but of course, as young people, we don't really. And we have to grow as people and mature and get to the point that you find yourself and I find myself today. Even though you're a leader in your home, were there people who helped you in your journey to become that leader?
It was, I want to say yes. There were. It was a program that I listened to on I don't even know if I want to say certain things, but it was a program that I was listening to. It was a gentleman that he had a program, and I don't know if I'm allowed to say it. So
the one who did martial arts?
No. He has a program on YouTube. So yeah, I was listening to him and
you're free to say it.
Okay. There's a gentleman by the name of Jason Black. He has a program on YouTube.
Jason, you owe us a check. Well, that's right. Go ahead.
Yeah, has a program called The Business on YouTube. I listened to that gentleman back when I thought I was on my high horse, that it was nothing about me that I needed to change. Everything was about me was perfect. If anybody wanted to be with me, they had to adjust to me. They had to change to me, and that was one of the worst attitudes to have. and I didn't realize it at that time. I didn't realize how much I needed to grow, and I listened to that guy's program day in and day out, and he broke me
Wow.
down without knowing that he broke me down. I remember when I was going through something. I was a truck driver at the time, and I'm driving my truck down the New Jersey Turnpike. I'm going south on the New Jersey Turnpike, and I'm driving a truck, and I'm listening to his program, and I felt like he was talking directly to me, and I felt like he was picking me apart, and it got to the point that I was going through so much, and I'm in my truck, and I'm crying real tears, and I'm punching the steering wheel in the truck, and I'm mad, and I'm going through it, and I said, "Listen, bro, something got to change. I got to change," and that was one of the turning points for me right at that point. And I just wanted some more maturity after that.
That finger was for Shaheem, not for you. Damian, say more about the concept of he broke me down. And I ask because sometimes people try to break us down in a way that's traumatic. And so we don't generally want to approach breaking people down, right?
Okay.
But what do you mean by he broke me down?
Good question. Good question. And I'll clarify it for you. When I say broke me down, me having a job, me being able to take care of my sons, me having a couple dollars, right? I'm thinking I got it all already. Everything is perfect with me. I'm thinking, hey, listen, I take care of myself. I got my own money, got my own car, got my own apartment. I don't need nothing from nobody. I'm good. I'm good. Meanwhile, the money that I got, right? This is back then. I'm small thinking. The money that I got, I probably had maybe $500 saved up. All my bills are paid though, but me having $500 at that time, I thought it was money. He completely broke that down, broke that whole entire idea down, right? Me thinking I provide for my kids, that I make sure they got shoes, whatever it is. I'm doing all of that. I'm thinking that's fatherhood. It wasn't. My kids needed presence. My kids needed me to be there, needed me to be intentional. I didn't know all this stuff. And he pointed all of that stuff out to me. So when I say he broke me down, everything that I thought was real about being a man, because I was such a small thinking, not expanded more, he broke it down and showed me like, listen, bro, you're not doing half as good as you think you are.
Yeah, he broke your defenses.
Yes.
Wow.
And broke you open.
Yes. Yes, he expanded my train of thought, made me realize that the world was so much bigger than what I thought I had going on. You know what it was too? My circle was so small, but the circle of people I was around, I had the most at that point. That's why I thought everything was good for me, but it was just a small circle. The world was so much bigger than that.
Right, you're so right about that. Now, broken down. I just want to catch that for a second. Just that phrase to a man could be scary. To be broken down. We always look to be this pillar of strength in the home. So to be broken down to a man is a scary thing.
I get it.
Yeah. And so how can the book help men open up? Not just in their homes, in their communities, to other men when they need help before it gets to crisis.
Here's the thing, and this is just honest as I could be with it. The book, my book, won't help a man that is still feeling himself. It won't help him. It won't help a man that feels like it's nothing about him that needs to change. It won't help a man that feels like he has everything perfect and everything is going on. It won't help him because you already have a mindset against help anyway. You already have a mindset against change. My book, what it does is when a man gets to a certain point where I got to, and plenty of men get to, and I do, before I even go into that, what I believe is, I could be wrong, but just from experience and watching what's going on, most men don't get to that stage of I need to do better until the age of 35. Maybe 35 and after. This is just me paying
70, 80.
Stop.
Never. I mean, 35.
Stop beating us up.
I'm not beating you up. And this is one of the things that Damian is offering us, that a commentary from a woman if you automatically come in with resistance, and because I say something, you say I'm beating you up. I'm holding you up. I'm loving you up, and I'm trusting that you know the difference between being brave and having bravado. I'm trusting that you can receive me. But certainly, Damian, I don't know how old you are,
41.
but 35 is extremely young. Many men, look, I've dated men in their 50s and 60s and 70s. And I can tell you that many of them at 70 are not open. They're living with those.
Wow.
Here's the thing about that 70.
Wow, the surprise.
Well, only because I guess in my mind, in my world, my thinking is always that by a certain age, people should have things figured out. You know, yeah, I know, but in my mind, maybe that I'm not saying it's the right way of thinking, but you know, yeah,
Can I explain
I
on
just
that?
assume, yeah, please.
Yeah, can I explain that? So even when I said age 35, that at 35 you should be at a place of maturity. Don't get me wrong. I know it's plenty of men that probably
Okay, yeah.
never got to it. Like Debbie was saying, that it's probably a lot of people. Well, it's gentlemen in the 70s that never got to it. Here's the thing about a 70-year-old: trying to change his mind at 70 will never work.
Yeah,
right.
I think so.
When I say 35, that is usually when you have been through some things in life where you start realizing that certain things need to change. You shouldn't have a boy's mentality at that point anymore. You should be at a place where you might be ready to turn the switch into maturity, right? So 35, you should be there. This is not saying they're going to be there, but my book, if you have any type of resistance to saying you're perfect, you have everything going on, it won't help you. My book is for the man that realizes, and it says in the book, when you realize that you're at a certain place in life right now where things in the past haven't been working, or things right now aren't looking as good as you want to, maybe the problem is you. Are you willing to change? Are you willing to step up? Are you willing to pivot for the benefit of your family? And also believe that for a man to pivot, you got to have a purpose that's bigger than you. You got to have a purpose that's bigger than you. And with that purpose for me was my kids, realizing that they needed
to do it.
So that was my purpose. If it was up to me, I probably would have never did change, never changed, right? I started because of my kids, but I got over the hump when I got married.
Wow! Shout out to the wives of the world.
Listen,
shout out to the wives of the world.
Maturity of the wife, my wife got me to where I had a bit of an immature stage when I first got married. A bit of an immature stage still left in me. Wife wasn't having it. And it wasn't a disrespectful, I wasn't having it. It was you need to fix a couple things with you, and I'm gonna help you through this. And I'm gonna help you through this. Wow. And that's where the complete set of maturity kicked in at.
Monica's just asking real quick about the name of the book, and I'm sorry I didn't put it up. Call Me First is the name of the book, everyone. Make sure you go and get it by, again, author Damian Lewis. A Man's Blueprint for True Leadership at Home, everybody. So again, make sure you go get that. Now, leadership, I want to just touch on this real fast. That's a powerful word. There's a lot that comes with it.
Yes.
Especially when you're talking about leadership in the home, right? I mean, there has to be, to a certain degree, Junior, can you take that down for me, please? An emotional presence. There's got to be that consistency. That's very important. I can't tell you the amount of times that I've seen or heard of a situation where a kid was waiting for their parent. I'm not going to beat up on the fathers all the day, but a parent to come pick them up for a promised visit, and they never show. Consistency is extremely important. Communication, I think everyone can agree. In a home,
biggest thing
is the biggest thing. I would say I would take it a little further. The way you communicate, not just with your wife, but even with your children.
Yes,
I think it is extremely important. That's an ever shifting dynamic because kids grow and they change and things. But
You got to
to
know
have
your kids. You got to know your kids, right? And this is a part of the book too. If especially if you have more than one child, right? You can't. To me, you
yes,
can't raise all your kids the same way. Here's why. The standard has to be set. Whatever the standard is the standard. But as far as the love and attention that you give each kid is going to demand something from you, something different from you, right? Listen, I've got three right now, right? I got two sons and my daughter. My daughter is by marriage, right? When me raising my sons, I had those boys militant, meaning that follow this, do this, do that, do this. Perfect understanding of what discipline is. My boys were. When I got married and my daughter came into play, she wasn't having the militant
that
side because
wasn't going to work.
she's a little bit more tender, and I had to soften up a little bit to be able to have a good relationship with her. But what it did was me softening up a little bit gave me a better relationship with my sons.
Wow.
So with all that being said, back to the communication, you have to know your audience. The kids are your audience. Your wife might be your audience. You know how to communicate with them. Find out what they want so you can appeal to them better. And you have to take time to learn your kids. Don't try to raise all your kids the same way. This is my belief.
Right.
And the same thing with my wife. As far as communication with my wife,
Right.
you have to know your person. Know your person.
Yes.
When I say know your person, it's one of those things where you know where the line is, things where you can and can't say. Everybody is going to get into a disagreement. Now is how far are you going to take it? And you as the man, I don't know how many men are listening to this, and I'm going to tell y'all right now, you have more control over where a disagreement, an argument goes than you think, brother. You have way more control over it. The way you control yourself determines how far that argument goes. Take my word for it. Control yourself. You'll control the argument. I learned that from experience. Control yourself.
The control starts within yourself.
Within
right?
yourself.
Within yourself.
Within yourself.
First.
And that's
right.
a part of communication.
I like that you said control the argument and you didn't say control the woman.
The woman.
No.
I thought, that was very well, that was very well said. You offered us the idea of getting to know our person. How do we get to know them? You have to know your woman. I mean, I think you were talking about your wife, but I'm opening up to our person.
Yeah. Pay attention. Mm-hmm. This is one of the biggest things. Pay attention. Pay attention. Your wife is going to have triggers, and I don't even want to use that word, but they're going to have things that get them upset, things that they're happy about, things that make them smile, things that make them cry. Pay attention. Pay attention. Don't just go in and think you can handle it. And also too, be prepared to just listen. Sometimes they don't want you to fix anything. They don't want you to make anything right. Sometimes they just want you to listen. Be the ear to listen. And this is one of the things I learned. So when I say know your person, you have to know and pay attention. Take notes if you have to. Write it down. Put a note in your phone. Pay attention. Last week when we got into this disagreement, what happened in this disagreement? What did I say? What caused it? What triggered it? I'm not saying I actually wrote it down, but I kept a memory of it, right? And this is something that I learned. Somebody just came in. Okay.
Yes, DJ Boom is in the building.
Boom,
everybody, let's say hi to DJ Boom.
What's up, fam? What's up?
This is my thing. When I say, and then to go back to answer Debbie's question, learning your person means paying attention. Pay attention to the movements. Pay attention to what makes them smile, what makes them cry. Learn these things, and you'll be able to go a lot farther. When you start assuming, and it's no way you can be with somebody for years at a time and not learn some of these things. You have to take time to really pay attention to your person, and that'll help you when conflict arises.
Well, leadership, being a leader doesn't mean necessarily being the boss, does it?
No. Being a
absolutely
leader,
not. Absolutely not.
No, being a leader,
to be a leader is to know how to be a good follower before you even become a leader.
Yes.
So that being the boss doesn't make you the leader. that just makes you the person that they got to answer to. But the leader knows how to lead, and the leader knows how to fall back when they need to fall back. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
Right. No,
My
I'm glad you're in this conversation. Go ahead, Damon. I'm sorry.
no, I'll agree with him with DJ Boom and piggyback off of that, and also too, being a leader, you're the one that comes up with solutions to problems. That'll put you in a space of leadership. You have solutions to problems. You have calm to chaos. This will put you in a space of leadership. People will follow you because you can figure things out. When things hit the fan, and I always said this too, if you as a man, you should know how to fix certain things, and I don't mean fix things like you go fix a sink or whatever it is, but you should know how to fix certain things within the family dynamic, right? And if it comes down to you having to fix a sink or something, if you can't fix it, I always believe if you're the leader, have a way to get it fixed, meaning having some money to pay a plumber to come in and fix it. And it's a simple thing, but this is what pushes you as a leader. Don't push it off onto someone else. Well, go call Harry down the street, see what he could do. No, you call Harry. You the man. You call him. You come up with a
I have a question now. Does that mean that you need to have all the answers?
You don't have to have all the answers, but you have to be willing to help people find the answers.
So I got a scenario for what he just said. I'm not going to name names, obviously, but I mean, you guys know who my mom is. You know how my mom has been married. This does not include my dad. My dad is not included in this. But after my dad passed, my mom met somebody and married him. And then she met somebody else and married him. The first person she married after my dad, he had the privilege of being called Pop because he did that. If the car needed to be washed, he may not have physically gotten out to do it, but he got somebody to do it. She didn't have to go do it. So where the other guy that she married, trash. So I'm gonna say what it is, trash. You know what I mean? And I'm being honest. I'm not trying to be funny or trying to disparage anybody or nothing. But that effort was not there. So if something broke in the house, he may not know or even be able to fix it, but he's going to make the call to say, hey, such and such, this needs to be fixed. This is broken, blah, blah, blah. He took them steps. So that's why to me, he earned the right to be called Pop. I didn't call him Dad because he wasn't my dad, but he earned the right to be called Pop because he took those steps like that. That other dude, his name is just his name, period. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I want to offer that we don't know him. I'm training myself to avoid calling people trash or, calling them out their name. What I want to stick to is the mystery of this man and who he was and how he got to be rather than making judgments. And I'm impressed with you, DJ Boom, that you can see the difference and that you had the modeling of a man who was a leader, and that you have the experience of a man who, for whatever reason, could not lead. Damian, I offer that as a leader myself, if I'm in a partnership with a man and I got something and I know something, and he's the leader and doesn't interact with what I'm knowing, that's really uncomfortable. And I'm sure you're not saying to disregard the woman, but the way it was worded, the man does this, the man does that. When in relationship with men whose leadership style isn't a recognition of my own knowing leadership, then you've got the classic butting of heads.
Mm-hmm.
You're right. You're right with that. With that. But then again, too, when the maturity of a man kicks in, I'm looking to my wife as my counsel. I don't know everything, but can I get your advice on this situation, please?
I like that.
You know what I mean? That my wife is still my counsel. And that's another part of understanding where I wouldn't even say roles, but where leadership comes in too. Everybody every leader still should have a council, because there are other opinions of certain things that you may not be able to see. You might not be able to understand certain things, and you may just have tunnel vision on what you're dealing with. But there's something on the side that's going to interrupt you. And
Right,
then
see
this is
things
where
from a
you go
different
to your counsel,
perspective.
your backup people that comes in. And to what you were saying, you having an input on what the situation may be. If a man is not willing to accept your input, hear you out, and consider what you're saying as an aid to him, that guy has some maturity things that he has to go deal with. He's not, to me, and I
Amen.
don't care who beats me up. If you have a competent woman by your side, I'm serious. If you got a competent woman by your side and you're not willing to take counsel from her or her opinion, do that lady a favor and go on and move on about your business. She
And it's more than input. See, so that still sounds like the woman has input, but the man has leadership. In certain situations, I might have the leadership and invite your input. There's no assuming in dynamics between two people, or a man and a woman, or a husband and a wife, that the man automatically is the one who leads,
So that
depending on
it,
how
it depends
things
on what the
emerge.
situation is, though. To
It
me, it
to
depends
depends on
on
what
the
the situation is.
situation.
to
Yeah.
me, auntie, to me, that goes back to what I originally said. If I know how to follow and I know how to lead, I know when to follow and I know when to lead. That's
Ashe.
two different things I just said. You know what I mean? So it
Yes.
falls back into that category. Everybody
Mm-hmm.
knows Barack Obama would not have been at the level he has been without Michelle. Everybody knows
Right.
that.
I like that.
Mm-hmm.
You know
I
what I mean?
like
Everyone knows that.
that.
Even unfortunately, the dude that's in there right now, to some degree, he wouldn't be where he is if it wasn't for a woman in some way, shape, or form. Like, to be perfectly honest. So you got to know when leading is leading and when it's time to follow. So I think the dialogue that's being used might be interpreted a little bit differently, but I think he's using the dialogue as to say like his wife is his mouth. You know what I mean? His wife is, hey, listen,
Mm-hmm.
we should do.
Right.
So now I'm gonna follow that, even though,
Mm-hmm.
quote unquote, I'm the man or whatever the case may be,
Right.
but I'm gonna
Because
follow what she said. And now I'm gonna
right.
say, you know what? You can't come to our house on Thanksgiving because that's not good for us. I'm not gonna say because my wife said
Exactly.
you can't come,
Exactly.
blah, blah,
Yeah.
blah.
Right.
I'm gonna say,
Right.
no, that doesn't work for us. You can't come to our house.
What I found in my experiences is that it's important, and I mean it's across the board to hear things sometimes or see things sometimes from a different perspective. And for me at least, it took some getting over some stubborn stuff, meaning me thinking that I always had the answers. Once I got past that, and started realizing, you know what, I don't always have the answer, and it was important for me sometimes to hear things from a different perspective. And so me and my wife started having not just better relationships, but better conversations.
What you
Everything
realize, cause what
gets
you
better.
realize is you did have the answers, but your wife had it for you though. So, but you chose her though. I mean, think
Yeah.
about it. You chose her though. So you did have the answers. It was
I'm
right
sure
there.
she loved to hear
You
that.
know what I mean?
Right.
But she
Yeah.
had it though. You know what I mean? That's the reality. I'm telling y'all this because these are the things that I've learned from being married, even though it was a short time. I'm telling you, my next person is gonna be a spoiled brat, not from money and we buying stuff, because I know how to pay attention to her. You know what I mean? And listen to her and feel her and be with her. I know how to do that now. So she's gonna be spoiled in that way. You know what I mean? So you did have the answers because you chose her. Because they say a king chooses his queen. So you chose her. You did have the answers. Now you got to listen to your queen when your queen speaks.
And the
And
queen chooses the king. And Michelle Obama would not be who she is without Barack Obama in back of her. I just
True
want to
partnership.
point out, that it does go both ways. And in leading, even if you have the right answer or think you do, it's still behooves you to practice the feminine dynamic. It's a principle of listening and ask the person what they think, rather than just charging in with the answer. Because sometimes you're going to have better connection if if the house is on fire, it's not the time to say, "What do you think? Do you think we should leave?" Just get the hell out there, pull them out. But in some instances, and this is the challenge, I think, one of the things, Damien, I love your book. I'm prepared to love you, and as I sit here with you, my heart swells. And
Thank you.
I also felt some compassion for that role man. And I thought,
Thank you.
oh my God, I would hate to be a man. I mean, some of it just sounded so hard. And I thought, well, who am I? Am I, a man, or am I a human being? And sometimes that man, even as I was reading it, I was like, I wanted to offer up compassion to the brothers who have this standard. It might not be the militaristic standard of the old model of leadership, but could you speak to the humanity in a man, not just the role man, but the humanity? Are we connecting? Am I?
Yeah, no, you're connecting.
Definitely.
So,
Definitely.
speaking to the humanity of men, and there's two other men on here that, in some way, some shape, some form, I think we may agree on this, that we feel more than we let off. Meaning that we feel more pressure.
I'm
we feel
so
more
glad
pain.
you brought that up.
We feel more sorrow. We feel more agony than we let off. We also feel more love than sometimes we are able to verbalize, right? And with all that being said, we keep a lot of that stuff bottled in because we are expected to carry a certain level of masculinity, right? So we keep a lot of that stuff boxed in. But perfect example, maybe 3 nights ago, right? I'm sitting, I'm laying on the bed. My wife is sitting in the couch at the bottom of the bed, and we're watching TV. But I have my phone in my hand, and I'm looking over the numbers for the day. And moving some things around, getting prepared for the next day. And my wife looks around at me, and she says, "Again?" I said, "What do you mean?" She says, "You got the phone in your hand again. We're trying to watch TV. You got the phone in your hand again." I immediately, and I got upset, right? But I didn't really fire off, right? And I'm gonna get into it. I didn't really fire off, but I got upset, and I'm like, if I don't do this, if I don't do what I'm doing now, the money either slows up or stops coming in. So I have to do this. She says, "Do we have to do it here now?" And I said, "Yeah, I have to do it now because it's happening now. It's in my brain right now. I have to do it now." And then what happened is she got a little bit tight with me, but I had to pause for a second as a man and realize, what was she really saying in that moment? And what happened was, as upset as I felt, and I felt the pressure of everything going on in the house, she didn't realize that's what it was. And even for the gentleman here, when you're doing certain things and you're putting things together, the women may not be able to understand what you're doing because you're bringing things into the house. They might not be able to understand the pressure that is on you to make sure that this bill is paid, that bill is paid, this is taken care of, this is fixed, this is that. I'm not saying they don't have anything. Listen, women got so much to handle. We're gonna get into that in a second. I'm not saying they don't. What I'm saying, the humanity of it is, we carry a lot, but we feel so much more than we let off. And the human side of it is, sometimes we do want to break. Sometimes we do want to cry. Sometimes we do want to let go in the corner and curl up and not do anything. But we can't.
Go ahead. Damian, I want to offer this. And I'm saying this on purpose. My ex-wife was the same way. You heard what I said. My ex-wife. Because I'm a DJ. I'm a full-time DJ. How I make money is I got to go to work. I got to go and DJ these parties. Blah, blah. That's how I make my money. So to her, it was, "Oh, you always at the party." To me, I'm always at work. So again, my ex-wife You know what I mean? I'm not listening to what she's saying because I got to bring this money in. Blah 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 blah. We got to take the macho dynamic out, and we got to start
I
listening.
think that's important.
That's
Point blank.
exactly what
Period.
it is.
I think that's
So what
important.
she was basically saying to you is, can you and I have this time?
And I caught
Because
it.
guess
You
what?
need that
Right.
space.
Because the money, the thing is, the bills are not going to stop. It's just not. They not.
Yeah.
You know what
Yeah.
I mean? The
Yeah.
need is not going to stop. None of that. And this is why I say my next person,
Yeah.
whomever she may be, is going to be a spoiled brat because I'm aware of that type of stuff now. I can say, oh no 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 no,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
gonna take this
I
day
get
off
that.
in order
Mm-hmm.
to do. Oh, maybe we can do X Y Z. Blah 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 blah. But I know DJing is what contributes to these bills being. I do know, unaware of
It's a
that.
Yeah.
balance.
Right.
It's a
You
balance,
got to
and
figure out the balance.
it's a tough
That's
balance.
beautiful, Boom. Thank you.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes.
Thank
I
you.
Thanks for
definitely
sharing,
put the
Coach.
phone down, though. I put the phone down, Boom. I definitely did. I put the phone down. I wasn't happy about it. But I
It's a
put it
tough
down.
balance.
You know
I
what
mean,
I mean?
I'm in the same boat. I'm
Yeah.
constantly working. I'm hearing the echo, guys. I just wanted to bring that up. I'm constantly working, and so I'm in the same. It's a balance, and it's a tough balance. But I see the clock ticking down, so I want to jump into this too. The cultural aspect, or the generational aspect of it, meaning so much of what we do in a home sometimes comes from what we saw growing up in a home or in homes growing up. We come from, and I think we as men can agree that we come from this culture where men were the head of the household. Head of the household. That was the title. Head of the household. In fact, you fill out your taxes, it says the head of the household. You know, it's tough to make that transition now because it's a generational thing. So now how do we change that dynamic for future young men coming up, so that they know that it's okay to not just share, but to open up, to call you first, that it's okay when you're down, when you're not feeling, when you're feeling the pressure, you're
How
feeling
we do
that.
that? How we do that is exactly what we're doing right now.
I like that. I
We
like
may
that.
think
Well said.
that this podcast is only being seen by the amount of people we see on here. But once these clips go out and once they're shared, you have no idea who is touching or whatever the case may be.
That's
You got
right.
3 men on here, not to negate Aunt Debbie, because we know she, as powerful as a woman she is.
Yes, she is.
You got three
Yes,
men
she
on
is.
here talking about that testimony of opening your mind, listening with more than just your ear. You know what I mean? So that's where it starts. I know Damian, he's already did a book, so he already started.
Son.
Now
So
we're on the
thank
path of starting. Now we're starting doing the podcast, talking about it. That's where we start. That's how we reach one, teach one. That's how it
Yeah.
goes.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
And we
Thank
build
you.
trust. Build trust. And the way we build trust is following through on what we said, following through on the promises that we made, following through on the dates that we set, and also too knowing that we cannot overcommit to something that we can't we shouldn't be overcommitting to. You build trust. This is how you build trust and confidence, doing what you said you were going to do, and this is how you help break that dynamic. Being
Consistency.
there, being intentional.
I just want to thank Monica. She says the world is truly blessed to have you on the airwaves. Thank you, Monica. We think so.
Thank you.
We
Thank
appreciate your support for sure. Like I said, I see the time is winding down. I just want to say I agree with you, Boom, that it's important that we have this conversations, not just on the airwave, but in our homes. We teaching our young men that it's okay to have these conversations. We lead by example. We change that example from the example that we saw decades ago, and let them see something different in us all. When I spoke to Damian, we talk about the growth as a person. I grew a lot from the person that I was 20 years ago or whatever. And to tell you the truth, I'm still growing. I'm still growing, Peter. I'm not ashamed to say that. But I can say
I'm still growing too at 73 3 3/4.
Right?
There is no such thing as not growing. And when we leave our bodies, we're likely still growing. I'd like to touch on nature because when we're talking about men, we are talking about an aspect of nature that comes up regardless of whether you've been parented by a man or a healthy man. Same for women. There is the nature. So often men rely on the nature that propels them to conquer, to protect.
Natural
It's
instinct.
nature. But what I want to offer, that cultivated nature, is the most awesomely powerful. See you next time, Monica. Thank you for joining us.
See you, Monica.
The nature,
Absolutely.
we have to cultivate our nature. We can't rely on, I'm the man, and this is, and this is how I see being a man. We are forever cultivating ourselves. If you have plants, I don't have a garden except on my windowsill. I have to cultivate those plants in order for them to thrive. So it is not just what a man's nature is, it's his ability, and to say, well, I'm a man and this is what a man does. You also want to cultivate and modify when called upon.
Well said. Well said. Especially the natural aspect of it. We right. It is a natural instinct, I guess, to kind of be in charge. Go get the food and feed the family and everything. I guess it's hard to get over that aspect of it all.
We don't want you to get over going to get the food. Don't get over that.
All right. If you insist. All right, everybody. It's been a great conversation. Time's winding down. I'm going to have to let you guys go so you can get your Sunday, and we're going to go get into our Sunday. I want to thank first our guest, Damian Lewis, for showing up today. Like I said, I know that you are a busy man, sir.
Yeah.
And so I truly appreciate the fact that you took time to be here for not just us, but for our audience, sir. I appreciate it so much. Thank you very much.
Thank you for having me. Thank you guys for having me. Thank you for reaching out. Thank you for being the person you are. Thank you for this panel. Thank you for Aunt Deb, DJ Boom, Shaheem. Thank you guys for having me. I appreciate you reaching out. 100% I do.
Absolutely. I'll be in touch.
Thank you for modeling. Thank you for modeling today.
Yes, sir.
Being a man. You modeled it. You modeled it for me. Right, guys? Wasn't I a little more quiet? And Boom. Oh my God. You modeled being a man in these moments together. I thank you for being a model for me. Shaheem, you modeled that man thing. I love it. Thank you for being you. It's been a pleasure and a privilege to be here with you men.
Don't make me cry. Don't you do that.
Thank you.
Thank you, Debbie, so much for those kind words. And thanks again, Damien. I'll let you go, sir. But I will definitely be in touch, all right?
All right, sure thing. Good night, guys. Good day.
Absolutely, man. Take care.
Let me know when the next book is out.
I will.
There you go. All right. Make sure you go check out Damien. Go get his book, Call Me First, everyone. A blueprint to relationships in the home. Make sure you
I'm gonna overstep my boundaries here.
Yeah.
I know Auntie usually does the first final words, but because I am at work and I need to get back out there, I missed the early birthdays, so I cannot leave this show without telling my baby girl happy birthday to her.
Happy birthday.
It is her birthday today. She is 31 years old today. I love her with my whole heart. I hope she is having a fantastic time. I could not leave the show without saying happy birthday to her.
Happy birthday. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Dejanay.
All right, there you go. Any last words on Debbie before we get out of here?
I'm going to defer to the men just this one time.
Go for it, cuz.
I'm just gonna say this, everyone, as men, and women too. It's important that we uplift each other. Everyone, it's important that we reach out to people that we trust when we need to lean on somebody. Sometimes, everybody, it's okay. It's all right. It's okay that you to admit that you might need a hand.
Necessary.
It's necessary. Thank you, Aunt Debbie.
Listen,
So let's
we
get
all
comfortable with
need
these open conversations.
somebody to lean
There you go, everybody. We're going to leave it at that, everybody. Listen,
We all need
I
it.
just want to say this before I go. I know Boom's got a lot of things going on. He can tell you all about him. But if you want to know what's going on in Shaheem world, make sure you go to therealshaheem.com. Our spring collection is coming to terryscloset.com. So women, if you're looking for something to wear this spring, make sure you go check that out. And remember, check out my son, too, on Taco Everything at anime.com. And that's on YouTube, everybody. Here you go.
Well, I have to say this for you both. I know it's fairly late in the year and all that good stuff, but I am here at the basement where I am right now doing a party every Sunday from 1 to 6, and then I got to go to Loafers. So I want to send you guys, along with Terry. Terry, you're included in that too. If you are able to come on the 22nd, I am having a birthday party here at the basement. I want to share, and I'm saying this on purpose because I want to share. I've had so many deaths in the last couple of weeks of friends around me and family that have passed away. I want to share this time with the people that I pour love into. You two are two of those people. If you are able to make it, I would love it. It's during the day. It's from 1 to 5. So if you come from Jersey and you got to get home, you come from New York, you got to get home. You got more than enough time to get back and do what you got to do. If you can make it, no pressure. Seriously, no pressure. But this is what I want to do for my birthday. And so I'm offering that to you guys along with Terry and anybody else that's watching right now.
All right. Well, we'll see what we can do. Boom. Happy birthday to you again. We're glad that you are here and glad that you're on the show. Glad you survived that accident, by the way, everybody. All right, everybody. It's time to let you go do your thing so we can go do ours. We love having you here, but we got to kick you out. We'll see you all back here again for another episode of From the Shore to Be More. Enjoy your Sunday, everybody.